Hey everybody, Danny Griffin with another Monday Mojo. So it's all about survival of the fittest. Kill or be killed. Only the strong will survive. Evolution will deliver up the most dominant species. This is the stuff of great bravado. We love it when Hollywood puts together those great action stories filled with battles and strength. We all hope to be so strong, so we cheer for the warriors as they hack their way to the top. We even wake up the next day feeling like a beast, ready to conquer anything that comes our way. Yet, in the same breath, what about all those stories that have nothing to do with muscle? The other side of the coin stuff that evokes our empathetic side, when we're moved by stories of the humble, people that emerge from the back of the pack in such a subtle and unassuming way that make us wonder, how could they have been so strong without all the pushing and shoving around? So we must question, what is actually stronger, muscle or humility? First, let's consider what each really consists of. Muscle seems just too easy and simple. Its foundation is very dominant and self-serving. Either join up with muscle or be run over, and even if you're strong yourself, you might be forced to line up behind all the alphas who have no interest in giving up or sharing the throne. On the other hand, there's the more complex and sometimes confusing humility. How could we even compare it to muscle, as it seems rooted in anything but strength? Aren't the humble counted amongst the insignificant? Are there even enough tales of humble leadership to make the comparison? After all, what interest would you have in a story that pits muscle against humility? It's an unfair fight. Or is it? The other day I was introduced to the story of a great runner. Now, if you know anything about running history, you might think about how Roger Bannister used strategy and ultimately muscle to power his way to a sub-4-minute mile for the first time in history. Yet, everybody was focused on that feat at the time. They knew it was coming, and the quest was so high profile, and perhaps the whole thing was just about muscle. There is, however, an even more compelling running story, but you'd have to dig deep, or you'd probably go a lifetime without even knowing about it. You see, during the early 1960s, an obscure runner of Native American descent was preparing to take on some of the greatest runners in the world at the 1964 Summer Olympics in Tokyo. Now, on paper, the 10,000-meter champion, Ron Clark of Australia, seemed to be the no-brainer favorite. During the race, the soft-spoken American seemed an afterthought, as he would have to run a full 50 seconds faster than his best time ever. As the bell lap began, he found himself at the front of the pack, only to be nudged aside by the champion as he stumbled into the outside lane. Now, to add insult to injury, a third runner muscled them both aside and took the lead down the back stretch. The outcome seemed just a foregone conclusion, until it changed in an instant. Somewhere, humility cried out for the spotlight. The arena raised up as the American floated way out into the third lane and quietly turned the running world on its ear. As the humble hero crossed the line, he heard a Japanese official trying to ask him a question. Turns out, like the rest of the world, all he was yelling was, "Who are you? Who are you? Who are you?" Now, he'll always be known as Billy Mills, the 1964 10,000-meter Olympic champion, just a humble guy who found his way to the front. Hey, I'm Danny Griffin with another Monday Mojo brought to you by freethinkingtools.com, reminding you to think and thrive. And do me a favor, comment here, pass these along, and share them with some friends and family. I'll see you next time. And don't forget about Billy Mills.